To many people in our community, Kerry Stemler is a name that goes hand in hand with Southern Indiana. And as president and CEO of KM Stemler Company, Inc., that name has come to mean integrity and independence. For some, a career is a choice, while for others, it's a calling. As it goes for Kerry Stemler, building is a passion that started very early.
My father was a carpenter, not a contractor, so I was always around tools, always stealing his tools and going out and building the treehouse or the clubhouse. And I can remember getting in so much trouble with him, but I was fortunate. It was something I desired to do. I thought I wanted to be an architect, but I enjoyed being outside and actually seeing the projects get built. So actually I graduated midterm from high school at Jeffersonville, and I was fortunate enough to build my first house at 18 years old. I've kind of been self-taught in that industry because I've really never worked for anyone else. I've always been in business, and I've always been in the construction business my entire life.
Since 1981, KM Stemler Company, Inc. has become one of the area's leaders in the construction field as a virtual one-stop shop contractor that provides a majority of the services needed to complete a project. Of course, that feat was not without its challenges.
When I sold my first construction company, which bared my name, it was challenging for me because I was back starting over and reinventing myself when I'd already felt like I had accomplished something in my life. At some point, I kept thinking, well, maybe I should be doing something else. Maybe I should be going back to school or go a different direction. And finally, I had this epiphany that says, I'm just going to get up every day and I'm going to be the best Kerry Stemler I'm going to be, and I'm going to work really hard at what I know, and that served me really well, and I still do that today.
I always enjoyed working with Kerry because he had an interesting mixture of being a pragmatist but also an optimist. So he always kept his eye on the ball and where things should go and what was best for the city and this whole region. But he also was practical and knew that sometimes you had to talk to a lot of people, get a lot of input, make sure people were informed, and not just move on your own.
Kerry's passion to build, natural curiosity, and do-it-yourself attitude is a definite force that has propelled KM Stemler Company, Inc. to prominence. But for Kerry, that success can be seen through his employees, some of whom have been with him since the company started, and he is quick to credit those who brought him here.
One of the best things that ever happened to me is when I quit working in the field because I was the slowest carpenter or the slowest person on the job. But the individuals that I've really been around and seen them and helped empower them and what they've gone on to do, many of them have gone into business for themselves. I've got a core group that really it's their company. I just happen to sit in a little different chair than they do, but they're the reason that it happens.
It's always exciting to work for him because he's very devoted and dedicated to winning, so to speak. And he always wants to give other people the credit. And Kerry's that way. He shares the credit, but as a practical matter, he wants to attribute the success to other people who've worked as a member of the team.
Moving beyond construction, Kerry found another passion as a civic and community leader. He currently sits on the board of several businesses, including West Banco Banking Company. Kerry has also served on multiple civic boards, such as the Indiana State Chamber of Commerce, but it was his time with Greater Louisville, Inc. that helped give birth to one of his favorite accomplishments.
I can remember a gentleman named Charles Garman called me and said, Kerry, would you ever consider serving on Southern Indiana Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors? I said, well, I've been a member for years, but it's not something I really see myself being involved in. He said, well, we think your industry is one that needs to be represented on this board. So I actually went, talked to him, and I served on their board, ultimately ended up being chairman, we decided that we needed to create something more like what happened with GOI in earlier years, the way we brought organizations together. So we bought the economic development function, the chamber function, and the visioning function for Indiana, which the ultimate was the start of it's where One Southern Indiana was born.
Throughout all of Kerry's accomplishments, the one that will stand above all the rest would definitely be serving as a member and co-chairman of the Ohio River Bridges Bi-State Authority.
This is one I'm probably as proud of because I do believe we accomplished the goal. And it was myself and a lot of other hardworking people. But those people worked so hard to make sure we set into motion what ultimately would become the Ohio River Bridges Authority, which I was fortunate enough to be asked by Governor Daniels to serve on. There's so many people that worked on that project for so many years. It wasn't without pain and sacrifice. I spent 10 years pushing and spending a lot of hours on that. It is a true accomplishment, and the day the ribbon cutting on both bridges, it was exciting for all of us, and I think for our community.
The bridges would not have been built without his leadership from Indiana, because we had a lot of leadership in Kentucky, but Kerry was key in Indiana. We really, really desperately needed someone to take the point in southern Indiana, and that was Kerry Stemler.
Behind every great man is a great woman is an idiom that rings very true for Kerry Stemler, because the secret to his success can certainly be attributed to one particular individual.
The one question that has been asked of me over and over again: who runs your business? Because people have seen me throughout this community spending a lot of time that's not directly involved in my business. There is no doubt, if I didn't have Debbie Stemler, my wife, and the people that work for me in this office helping make it happen, you might be seeing me in the unemployment line. So, but there's no doubt the person that's made the biggest difference to allow me to be involved in the civic and the exciting things I've been involved in has been the fact that Debbie has been the one to really lean in and help me through that process and basically manage the construction company and the real estate company when I'm not around.
Kerry Stemler is a vital part of our area and enriches the lives he touches with numerous lessons on what it means to be a business leader.
People that are going through junior achievement, looking at a person like Kerry, could see someone who's dedicated their life to this region. And he's done it on his own. He's an independent business person who knows how to run his own business, but he also knows the value of that business being in a community that is successful, that has all the quality of life and other attributes that we all want in a community.
A student would learn from Kerry to be a visionary, to understand what it takes to be successful, to never give up on a major project, to make sure that you share the credit with other people.
And I know he and I've talked several times about he loves the project, he loves the challenge, and I know he's looking forward to the next challenge because he's not about to slow down.